everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again. Another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, you're continuing the journey of Transformers Prime. This is Season 1, Episode 20. Interesting title here, Partners. And realistically, that could mean many things. It could mean a partnership between Decepticons, Autobots, human characters, maybe partnering up a Decepticon and an Autobot. They team up for something. I don't know. No clue. It also could be meaning multiple partnerships in terms of partnerships. So I have no idea. No idea. Last week's episode was overall okay. There was some major things that occurred. Number one, they really, in my opinion, made Miko a better character with how much she was willing to push herself mentally and physically to help get Bulkhead out of, in the cave when it crashed in and everything. He's holding up that giant piece of rock and everything, holding up the ceiling basically, and she's unable to do much, but she's trying so hard to move all the rocks, and it's impossible. There's no way. But they really showed that she can be serious, and her emotions really got to her, and I think it really helped develop her character. The other major thing is that Megatron was taking Starscream there to kill him. There's no other way around it. Megatron was going to kill him. And if Jack wouldn't have showed up the second he did, Megatron would have killed Starscream. Would have killed him. It would have been not too surprising based on what he's done so far, but at the same time, it would have been shocking because Starscream is a major player in this show, and killing him off would kind of make it to where we don't have an inner conflict within Decepticons. We kind of need him alive, in a sense. Now, I don't know what happened at the end of the episode. I'm assuming Starscream's still alive. I don't think Megatron actually let him, die because, of course, the whole switcheroo and everything in regards to RC switching Bulkhead from holding up that ceiling of rock to Starscream, which, of course, he's not as strong as Bulkhead. So I'm assuming he's okay, but regardless, I'm curious what's going to happen in this episode, guys. Let's see what the title's all about. I'm curious to see what happens here. Let's go.
I have been a fool.
Right away.
Made mistakes. I have gained a clear understanding of my place in this universe.
Sure you did.
Of who I am.
Starscream never mentioned it.
If he's up to his old tricks, I shall grind him into powder. You failed to record the coordinates of a Decepticon transport?
An oversight, Master.
There's even a small chance your spark is out there listening. We could really use you, Cliff. But I just want you to know, I haven't given up.
Good.
I'm gonna find the con who took you from us.
Your chosen vehicle mode lacks thrust.
Are you going to lead or are you going to guide?
Cliff jumper.
You snuffed an Autobot?
Yes,
I
he did.
Without mercy. I will need to find a point of entry.
She won't need one. I'm really glad Arachnian has more of a role, because I thought she was going to be like, every so often.
Our scanners have detected a Decepticon energy profile.
He called it.
But it's ancient.
The ship just ends. It must have broken in half
Watch your
during
back.
the crash.
You are nothing but a scavenger, an opportunist.
This is true, though.
You want to talk.
Come back here right now and cut me loose.
She's not.
That is an order.
She's leaving him.
You know I prefer working alone.
Exactly, you do. That's why it's like obvious it's all a means to an end.
Release her.
Release her.
You know better than to engage the enemy alone.
Yes, but she had to go. She had to.
Not after what she did to Tailgate.
Move it!
No need to use force. I want to be on your side.
Bullshit. Exactly, I don't try to run.
He's telling the truth about Megatron trying to scrap him.
It's just right there. Okay. Okay. Oh shit.
Starscream's loyalty to Megatron has always been questionable.
Yeah.
If he has truly split from the Decepticons, every sentient being deserves an opportunity for redemption.
Even Bot.
I do like his point, but maybe not for him.
Marcy, remain with our prisoner. Your desire to avenge Tailgate
Exactly.
will only continue to cloud your judgment. Be alert.
Be on
Arachne is
alert.
known to attack from below ground.
It's the right place, but yeah, I think it's a trap in some way. What?
She showed up one day, and the next thing you know, she's acting like she runs the place.
Yep.
That was my doing.
What? You weren't there. Tailgate.
Who's Tailgate?
You were the one. you extinguish Cliffjumper.
I was trying to help Cliffjumper.
Bullshit.
To the Master's misery.
Bullshit.
He begged me to. You wouldn't terminate a defenseless prisoner, would you?
I mean, she might.
Take it!
God, he shouldn't have left her behind. Optimus should not have left her behind. Exactly. Behind you, behind you, behind you. Guys, you didn't hear that? Come on, RC, you got this. Come on.
Was tailgate weak like Cliffjumper?
Don't say that.
Just keep talking, Starscream.
Do you think Megatron will enjoy his new trophies?
Maybe.
He'll probably use the bulky one here for target practice.
I think it's all a trick. Oh.
But you, Bug, as a rogue,
He's not
a
actually
scavenger,
frozen.
I should disappear into the night with this treasure. I could earn Megatron's eternal trust.
Damn, that was good. And she's gonna fly away. Shit. RC, come on.
This is for Cliffjumper!
What? Ooh. Oh,
Do it.
she won't do it.
Megatron will only terminate me for treason.
She's not gonna actually kill him. No, she won't. Exactly. Yeah, gotta get her back, man.
It was Starscream's incompetence that cost us the immobilizer.
I don't care about some trinket.
It was a snap to repair, allowing us to reverse its effect on you. You should regain your full range of motion before long.
Good.
It is the external wounds which heal the quickest.
I thought settling scores would allow me to move on.
What are you doing?
Aligned with no side. Servant to no one.
Ooh, okay. This was a very interesting episode for sure. And the title partnership, I was kind of right. It's multiple partnerships, but it's really more so talking about RC's first partner that Arachnid killed, and we saw in the flashback, and they actually showed a little bit more of that again, or at least repeated it again, just so in case people forgot, you're caught up, Tailgate. And then we, of course, know that at the beginning of the show, who was voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, The Rock, Cliffjumper was murdered by Starscream, and it was even mentioned in this episode that RC's like, I'm still looking for the bot who killed Cliffjumper. Who was the one who did it? And then, of course, right there, prisoner is Starscream. We'll get to all that in a second. And also, I guess the partnership could refer to Starscream and Arachnid being forced to team up because Megatron forced that to happen. And I mentioned this in the reaction. I really never expected Arachnid, even though I really liked her character, I liked her introduction, and I still think she's a great character. I just never thought she'd become more of a face that we would see more and more often, like more of a character we see more and more often. I thought she'd be like every so often, kind of a rare appearance, and kind of, just like pops up, then a couple episodes later may pop up again, or sometime down the road. Not like so often now, but it makes sense what they're doing with her character in the arc right now, is that she's with the Decepticons, and so it makes sense she's there, and especially the ending of the episode implying that she's going to stick around because she might end up being the second in command, because Starscream at the end of the episode is now on his own. He has no alliance. He's on his own. So, interesting. So, Megatron is under the belief right now that Starscream is under the imprisonment of the Autobots, and it's not true. So, I don't know. Starscream's going to have to start planning things, because originally his goal was to basically take over as a Decepticon, which is what he was doing until they found the remains of Megatron, and then, when he woke up and then had the memory and the flashback essentially of seeing Starscream, the one who yanked out the Dark Energon, was trying to kill him. So it all played out like in that way. So now he has no alliance, and he's not even trying to take over Megatron. I guess he's like, I'm just gonna take out everybody. Fuck it, whatever, don't care. So he's gonna build his own army. I'm guessing is what's gonna happen, or he's gonna be on his own for a bit. I'm not sure what they're doing with the character, but that's a big moment. That's a big thing that we're having this character that was literally all about just taking the power and being the leader of Decepticons, and now he's on his own, and that's what he wants. So, interesting. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier in the review portion as we get started. holy crap, no human characters. Not a one. And you know what? I didn't really notice it till the end, and I'm like, I wonder if it's a coincidence this episode was good as it was, because it was a pretty damn good episode in my opinion, and we had no human characters. Wonder if that was a factor, because they weren't in the mix. Because let's be honest, regardless of my like or dislike of them, they take away screen time, and it does alter how they handle the storylines and what they can do out in the battlefield, because a lot of times they end up showing up even if they're not supposed to be there, or in some sort of way they're involved somehow. So the fact that there was no humans, I think actually benefited this particular story that they were telling here in regards to this, like, I forget what word that Arachne used, but it was like that freezing weapon. And I like how Bumblebee pretended to be frozen in place, just then ever so looking over, and, oh, she's looking again. And so I thought it was really cool how he played her, because she fell for it. She honestly thought, oh, my weapon that I able to freeze Bulkhead and Optimus, it worked on you, Bumblebee. No, it did not. No, it did not. So that was a good little reveal to trick her, to show, hey, you're an idiot. I'm not actually frozen. So that was pretty good. I'll say that. Round of applause. Round of applause. That was pretty good. I think the cheap shot that Starscream got on RC was a long time build-up, because I honestly didn't expect, when he was captured and everything, we saw how everything unfolded with him and Arachnid's partnership, how she left him just high and dry, didn't really care. I was like, there's no way, like he's gonna, there's a turning point. He's not really gonna join the Autobots. It's all a trick and shit. But he's waiting for his moment. And then he cuts and causes her to bleed. He cuts RC, causes her to bleed. And until the very end, she was getting her ass handed to her, right? And then she was able to, like, fight back, and this is for Cliff Jumper. And I bet you, with how much her emotions, because Optimus Prime said, you know, your revenge and your emotions and everything, it's clouding your judgment, and this is not the way to go. This is not the Autobot way to get revenge. And, like, it's clear, because when she just runs off and goes after Arachnid, in the middle of the episode, later on, he's like, hey, you shouldn't have done that. And he's like, no, you don't understand what she did to now I'm blanking on his name now. Her previous partner that Arachnid killed. I'm forgetting the name now. Sorry, guys. I had it a few minutes ago. Now that I've gotten so far into it, now I forget. I know Cliff Jumper was the one that died early on in the show. I'm completely blanking. Sorry, guys. I thought I was going to come back. It did not. But she mentioned, like, that's why she went after Arachnid, because of what she did. And Optimus is like, look, this is not the way to go. This is not the way we should do things. This is not good. And then that's why she was left behind with him in terms of Starscream as the prisoner, because of how her emotions are clouding her judgment. And it still was, because then she was pushing herself. She was trying to get him to unhook and hook his cuffs so that they could fight, and then he gets a cheap shot. She would have probably killed him, I think, with how much emotion and how much anger, because she finally found the bot that killed Cliff Jumper. And the only reason why she stopped was Bumblebee. And this has now happened twice. Two major things. Two characters would have murdered Starscream if there wasn't a particular character showing up. Last week, as I mentioned in the intro, Megatron would have killed Starscream if Jack had not showed up that second and they locked eyes. In this episode, RC would have murdered Starscream if Bumblebee wasn't there to see what was happening. So Starscream could have died twice in the show so far, officially, and it was stopped because there was another individual character that showed up that prevented the individual from doing it. Now, in terms of Megatron, he was just going to flat out murder him. He's like, the hell, Jack? RC, fire weapon. For RC, seeing Bumblebee, it instantly clicked. This isn't me. This is not me. It is kind of her, though. RC is letting her emotions get the best of her, and I don't blame her, because she's been through a lot. I mean, it really was a torture scene when she was captured by Arachnid. And now that Arachnid is here, and now really, like, they're running into each other quite often, more than I would think, more than I thought would happen. And the fact that Cliff Jumper also died as well, and here's the bot, Starscream, that did it. And it seems like every single time we turn around, Decepticons are finding something new or doing something new, crazy-wise. It's got to be a lot emotionally. And I think what they're maybe setting up, I don't know, RC may have a breaking point. I think they're building up to. I know in the ending episode, she kind of had kind of an epiphany, kind of a moment, but I don't think it's going to stick. I really do think she's going to get pushed to the edge to where she will not be able to come back. That's my prediction. I think RC is going to go, she's going to take something too far, or she's going to be pushed to a breaking point. And I think they're setting that up. I could be completely wrong, but I'm noticing it. I'm thinking, I think they might be heading this direction. But the beauty of this show is I have no idea what to expect. And I think that's the best thing about it. I like being surprised. If I could predict everything that the show actually ends up doing, it's boring. Like, I want to be surprised. I want them to subvert my expectations. I don't want to walk in, give like 10 predictions, and then 9 of them are correct. Unless it's really good storytelling and they make it make sense and it doesn't feel forced or like whatever, but it actually works. But most of the time, when you can predict something within a movie or a TV show you haven't seen and it all mostly comes true, I think it changes your viewing experience, because you're like, okay, I was right, but I wish I wasn't. At least that's me. Like, I at times, like, yeah, I would love to be right for this to happen, really cool. But what if they do something else that's equally as cool, or at least interesting enough? Then we go, I wasn't expecting that direction, but that's interesting. Something different. So maybe this show is not really setting it up at all. Maybe it really isn't going to go that far. But they're willing to show death on this show, essentially, and they're willing to show where they can bleed. And there's some layered storytelling going on here with these characters. So I'm thinking Transformers Prime could probably do something like that. It's potential, and I think it'd be interesting. We'll see what happens. So overall, I had a good time with this episode. I'm curious to see where we're going to go in regards to Starscream being on his own, and what is the future of the Decepticons with Starscream not being there anymore, and what does that mean for the future of Arachnid, and of course the Autobots. Of course, I'm assuming we're going to see the kids next episode, but anyways, it was nice to see them without, at least an episode without the kids. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.